Was the Buddha himself persecuted by the Hindus? Was he murdered by the Hindus?
Well, yeah, that's a good question to ask, because for some religion founders, that is indeed what happens. About Jesus, you must have heard how he ended. Then Muhammad was poisoned by the widow of one of his victims. Zarathustra probably was also murdered, though it is not clear if he was murdered because they wanted him rather than if he was murdered just because soldiers were killing everyone they could find. Then the founder of the Baha'i sect spent years in prison, and so on. I mean, there are a number of, people who have had a sorry end. Now, that did not happen to the Buddha. There is absolutely no case of persecution of the Buddha. There were a few attempts on his life, but they were by a jealous pupil in his own order. So it's not an ideological attempted murder at all. So no, you see, he died in high age 80, in his bed, so to speak. I mean, even though he didn't use the comfort of a bed, but it was by food poisoning. At age 80, you don't have to do much wrong to die from it. But so it was not an attempt on his life or anything of the sort, not even by one of his own disciples. So it was just a peaceful affair. There was some violence in his life, though. These incidents I mentioned, they happened totally at the end of his life, when he was like 77, 79. Namely, his own sort of complicity in a military operation by the Magadha kingdom, but he was very distantly involved. And he gave some advice to one of the plotters, though you can't say that he advised them to do this invasion, to do this conquest, not at all. Then there's something else, which is the Shakya Hatya, the killing of his own tribe. So you could say that that's an enormous failure. That's not, what you would expect from some towering figure like the Buddha. But so he tried to prevent, but didn't succeed in preventing the massacre of the tribe that he came from, the Shakyas. But that, again, you see, had nothing to do with any ideological matter. They also weren't per se Buddhists. So that had to do with a family feud, and so these are the things that happen in this veil of tears, according to the Buddha himself. So it's a pity, but it cannot at all help the case for Buddhist persecution.